Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back. My name is Alex and I just got done beating the main storyline in Gotham Knights, and it took me about 35 hours to actually complete the game, and all I can say is this game is not bad. Not sure, this doesn't even get a place inside of my top 10 favorite games, but it also doesn't go anywhere near the bottom. Now I will say that this game is definitely not for everybody. If you were looking for like an Arkham type experience or just more like Spider-Man, this is not it. But if you're looking for a game that has some light RPG mechanics, it doesn't get too crazy, but you're absolutely going to feel it later on in the game once you start to level up and enemies start getting a little bit tougher. If you don't have your gear leveled up and on level, things are going to start getting out of hand real quick. Now as far as the game being worth the price, I can't really speak on that, but I do think you get a complete game for what you pay for. Now the price on console I do believe is a little bit high, but in the next 2 to 3 years, every AAA game on console, good or bad, is going to be the same price as Gotham Knights is right now. So if you're on console, you may as well just get used to that, because that is absolutely on the way. Now I didn't watch any reviews on the game until I actually beat the game. I didn't want my opinions to be swayed in any type of way. I didn't want to see things that somebody else pointed out. And I watched about 10 different reviews, and right off in a lot of those videos, you could just tell that they were expecting a completely different game than what they got. And that's not to say that the critiques were made in bad taste or nothing like that, because this game does have its flaws. It's not perfect, but some of the things that were said, like the combat was way too slow, or how the game just spiked in difficulty all of a sudden, or even how the game is boring, and I actually will give you that. The side quests are pretty lacking. They are pretty repetitive, and with the combat being too slow, I'm gonna have to say people are completely wrong in that matter, because once you get to the end of the game, the combat is absolutely not slow. Now, does it take a while to flush out all the way? You need to get all your abilities. The enemy variety types, change, later in the game. So it does take a while for the combat to, get a little bit more chaotic. So that is a super valid critique, that a lot of that stuff is, locked behind later in the game. And this might be the take of the year, but the combat is actually what carries this game. But some other things just made me sit back and just go, okay, people are not expecting this game to be what it is. And I think if we had the same exact game, the same gameplay style, the same character design, and a similar story, but the cast of characters had nothing to do with DC or Batman, I think people would be singing this game's praises. They would be saying that this was a somewhat rough outing, but they're excited to see where the game goes next. But the fact that this game is still, somewhat loosely connected to Arkham, just because, that was the last Batman game that we got, people are being way too hard on this game, and it doesn't make no sense to me. And the one thing that still has me scratching my head and so confused is that there were so many people who were, somewhat on the fence, somewhat not liking the game before it even came out. They knew they weren't going to like it. They didn't like what the game looked like. They thought it looked bad. It wasn't for them. But then the game came out, they bought the game, and the game was exactly what they expected. But now they're complaining that the game isn't what they wanted, even though they knew it wasn't what they wanted before the game came out. It doesn't make any sense to me. But I absolutely feel bad for the people who bought the game on console and they haven't been enjoying the game because of performance issues, and also the people on PC who can't afford to have a super crazy PC to run this game optimally, because the specs you need to run this game are kind of insane. So I completely agree with that critique, but as far as like the actual game in total as a complete package where you get everything in the game, you get a pretty lengthy complete story, you get a whole bunch of side quests, you get a whole bunch of boss battles, you're getting a free update later next month. There's New Game Plus, and no spoilers, but the way the game ended, there's absolutely going to be DLC for this game in the future. This game is pretty much a complete package. Sure, it's not the the gift that you actually want on Christmas, but nonetheless, it's pretty good. For the price put on consoles though, I would put a question mark there. Maybe wait for a sale, especially because Black Friday is right around the corner. But on PC, it's still the normal price. Now this game absolutely had a rough launch. It was pretty much a PR nightmare. Could have been worse, but there were leaks. People were already just talking bad about the game before they even got their hands on it. And the community around this game is going to be split for a while until something else comes out and stirs the pot, and then people are going to leave and go cover other things. But I'm hoping they can address some of these issues with patches. Fingers crossed for that. I'm hoping the 4-player co-op mode actually launches in a playable state, especially on consoles. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, but we shall see. And long story short, I thought the game was super dope. Let me know in the comments how you guys been feeling about the game. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you just right in the middle? And that's all I got for you guys today, man. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that shenanigans down below. And I shall catch y'all next time. Peace.